So this software is called Aeigis, and it allows you to be able to close caption videos. So it's efficient. It's a little bit clunky, and but hey, it's free. And so this is what I use to close caption. You'll see that I could open for a new caption by just clicking, either the file, new subtitles, or the handy-dandy little new icon up here. You'll see this is where the audio goes, and down here this is where the text that you want to caption goes. Now when you work with me, the text that you want to put in the caption has already been written. There's no transcribing any of that action. And the way I do it is I come in here and I'll give you what I want you to name a slide. It will always look like a 1.1. It's correlating a 1.2 to a slide number. If you see something like this, like a 1.2 none, 1.2 cute, 1.2 sum, that's actually how I want you to name the files that you end up creating. So 1.1, 1.2 space sum is the exact name of the file you're going to give it. That's going to make a little bit more sense in just a second. But if you were captioning this, you would queue up your audio here and then switch over, it's real important, find the 1.1 audio, highlight it, then come back over to the other software and paste it in here. Now, how did you get the audio in here? Well, you go to Audio and Open Audio File. And so unless you're doing the voiceover yourself, you're going to typically go find a folder that I've given you in a Google Drive of some sort, download it, and then find the file that correlates with the text, so in this case 1.1, and then it will open in here. Now, me personally, I find the audio easy to look at when it looks like a wave like this, because I can kind of see where breaks happen. Makes the whole process of ceasing so much faster. But if you don't see that when you first download the software, click on Audio and come down and make sure you're on waveform display. If you're on spectrum display, see how that looks? I just find that grumpy. So I always change it to waveform display. I think it's a whole heck of a lot easier to work with. So you've queued up your audio up here, and you have your text down here. The first thing you want to do is make sure you have none of these little NNs in there. They're just annoying. So get rid of that, clean that up. All right, now the next thing is you need to match the exact set of words here with what's being said up here. So welcome to parenting. That's probably this, right? So I click and I highlight. See, I can do that anywhere. Isn't that great? I click and I highlight. Give yourself a little room. Don't try to be really tight. Give yourself a little bit of room right here, okay? And then press play. You can press play up here, or you can press S on the keyboard. So it's going to play, and that's exactly where it says welcome to parenting. Then I get rid of all the rest of the text that doesn't matter. I cut it out, and I insert lines after it and drop it in. Now I want to get the words. Before you move to the next slide, make sure you're ready to take notes. So I can already get rid of this and put it on another line. You'll figure out your process. I mean, there's lots of ways to do this. Before you move to the next slide, I highlight where I think that is, and then I press, of course, I want to see what's going on. I like pressing S on the keyboard. Perfect. That's what I want. Now, this is key. On the keyboard, before you roll out, press G. That kind of cements it in place and allows you to do it. And then this last one, I might do the whole thing. I highlight it. I can play it with pressing S on the keyboard. If I want to just see the end, I can press D. That's kind of fun. And when I'm finished, I press G. Now I got it. I can delete this last line out. I don't need it. Control Delete does that for me. And now I can test out that it works, that everything is perfect, and be ready to finish this one out. Before I do that, I just said test, and I did that really like, hey, test it. One way I like to test it is to click Video, use Dummy Video. This kind of puts a video in, and then I can press play and watch the whole thing. Now, what you're looking for here, a couple things, is you want to keep thoughtful things together, so don't break up sentences that don't make any sense. Try to keep complete ideas together, and you never want to go more than 2 lines. So if you can do those 2 things, you'll be in great shape. And great shape means it's time to get rid of it. So go to File, Export Subtitles. Just press Export again. And here you have to name it appropriately. So you probably made a folder for like the parenting job, right? Or wherever you're putting it. And then title it exactly as I've given it to you. In this case, 1.1 dot, and then the end SRT. All right? 1.1 SRT, and press Save. It's really key very key, is when you're looking at this, I tell you the name. So if I say 1.2 none, and there's a space in between, please follow it exactly. Don't add anything else in there. Follow it straight up. That just makes it much easier for us to import into the system. If you're ready to roll out and do this again, just come up to File, New, press New. You don't want to save your changes. You want to unload the video, and now you're kind of set up and ready to roll again. The keyboard makes a big difference, so I'm going to wrap kind of with this last one, that S plays whatever fragment or caption you've done, D plays the end of a fragment, and G sets that caption in place for you to go. When you export, make sure you go File, Export, and use, after you've pressed here, use the exact name, and it's .srt. That's real key. Happy captioning!